Igris Kedesh Chelik Vav of the Frierdiker Rebbe, in a letter dated Beis Iyar Tavshin Beis, he brings a long story, very powerful story about his father, the Rebbe Rashab, and says, B'yem HaShlishi, Chof Aleph Mar Cheshvan, Tafresh Nuches, in the third Sun, on Tuesday, 21st of Cheshvan, which would be a day after the Rebbe Rashab's 37th birthday, my father went to visit all the tziyunim, all the oilim of Mezhebus, Pastov, Anepalaya, Berditchev, Hadich, Venezhin. The Rebbe in his footnote says, this is with the Baal Shem Tov, Tzion, Rabbi Avram HaMalach, the Magid, the Yitzchak Berditchever, the Alter Rebbe, and the Mittler Rebbe. And then he goes on to speak about he came to the city of Mezhebus, where the Baal Shem Tov Tzion is, and a whole long story that one of the older Chassidim there told about something that happened in the time of the Baal Shem Tov. He was an older Chassid. He says, I heard this from my father, my grandfather, who were there at the time, and they referred it to the Moifus Sefer Torah. There was a Gefa that broke out in Mezhebus. Tov Kuf Yud Beis, that was the year, 1752. A Magefa Kitrug was on Mezhebus, and many people, men, women, and children died, became sick, and some of them to the point that they died. They came crying to the Baal Shem Tov, and he told them to pray for them, and he said, I cannot help you. You have to be able to help yourself. And he told them two things they have to do to get rid of the Gzeira. One is to say Eisi Shebetera and Tilhim, and write a Sefer Torah where everybody will participate. And when they did that, it actually caused the Magefa, the epidemic, to stop. And that's why they called it the Meifus Sefer Torah, and they actually stayed in Mezhebus all these years. The letter is all published, so you can look it up in detail. So it's pretty obvious, when there's a time like this, it says Gula, to write a Sefer Torah. But to take it a step further, in Tov Mem Beis, 1981, at the end of 81, Shabbos Parsha Miketz, in Zeis Chanukah, the Sikha, the Rebbe spoke then to the children. So the Rebbe quoted a pasuk. That was when the Rebbe came out, the mitzvah of Ksiva Sefer Torah, to write a Sefer Torah. So the Rebbe brought a pasuk. I'm reading here from the Sikha of Zeis Chanukah, Tov Mem Beis, Mekut Sichas Chelik Chof, Yisofis, volume 20, at the bottom of page 505 and on. He says, State in Sefer Daniel. I remember it vividly. I remember preparing the Sikha, and the Rebbe edited it very heavily. In Sefer Daniel, it says this, a promise. Ube'esahi. At that time, and the Rebbe says, there's man samach, the time close to Bias Mashiach. Yamed Michael Hasar HaGadol. Michael, the great minister, stands in support of the sons of your nation. Ha'emed al bnei amcha. Will stand up. This is the special angel that protects Eden. That's the Rebbe's words. Bashitz dem idischen Volk in jeder Id b'miyuchad. And then he continues. It will be a time of calamity. Be'esahi yemolet amcha kol animtza kosev b'sefer. Time of calamity, the likes of which will never have been from when there was a nation until then. You hear? A calamity that never existed, unprecedented. At that time, your nation will be saved, those who will be found inscribed in the Sefer. So how do we teach Be'esahu yemolet amcha? Kol hanimtza because of b'sefer. Jeder Id was verschrieben in Sefer wird nitzel. As the Rishonim explain, the Rebbe brings the Rishonim, Kol hanimtza because of b'sefer, Kol Yisrael shel kulim em ksuvim al sifrei shel beira. Those that are written in the Sefer Torah will be protected from this calamity, this unprecedented calamity. So, it's very clear the importance of writing a Sefer Torah in this time, and I want to commend a group of Chassidish Yidden who actually initiated the writing of a Sefer Torah, and want to encourage everybody to participate in this writing. So they created a special website, unitedforprotection.com. So I encourage every one of us, everyone that you can reach, to go there to unitedforprotection.com and buy an Osin the Sefer Torah. It's an additional Zgula, straight from the Sfarim, as I quoted, both from the Rebbe in Tov Mem Beis, and from the famous, and from the letter that happened with the Rebbe Rashab, the Baal Shem Tov's times, to help mitigate and help counter. Because at the end of the day, in addition to all the physical things that we need to do, and I keep repeating that because I don't want anyone to get the wrong impression that it's something only ruchnisdik, we have to also do whatever we can ruchnisdik. Because if we can nip it in the bud in a ruchnisdik way, also physically will have impact. But the way the Eibishter told us to do it is to combine both together. And that's the only way we can do it. There's no other way around it. The same God that created the physical world created the spiritual realities that shape the physical world. And it's actually Hashem Echad. It's only one reality. But part of that reality is V'rapa Yerapa, Nitn Rishus L'Refa L'Rapis. The Eibishter wants us to use all the methods, Derech HaTeva, to not rely on miracles, at the same time to be mispal and to do everything we can beruchnis. They go hand in hand, to be responsible. Because a sakona is nothing to be tampered with. That's also part of Torah and Halacha. And we need to be responsible and at the same time to fortify and strengthen our neshamas in this challenging time.